Hey there, Blue Rockers. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. Connie Willis here, and it's a Crypto Connie Tuesday. Yay! Back again here with some great information on BEOS tonight, along with Stan Larimer, the Godfather of Bitshares, putting it all into layman's terms and taking your questions as well. Tonight, when we take questions, make sure you put them in all caps and make sure you do it, sooner than later, because we want to make sure Stan gets his rest. Do not forget, those of you that are new here, maybe you're a Bigfooter or an alien watcher or something like that. Well, we do all sorts of neat things here on Blue Rock Talk, Earth's most interesting conversations, people, places, and things. We have our Bigfoot Friday. We have our Far Out Thursday. We have Swellness Wednesdays, alternative health. And we also have, of course, Crypto Connie here. Coming soon, Wasted Wednesdays, a serious look at the cannabis industry. And on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, it is Stan's Bible Lecture. And all the other shows are 9 p.m. Eastern. And who knows when we might just break in and do some other things. Now, soon, I've got a neat little surprise coming up for you. I've been working on this for a while, or kind of, sort of. At least I knew what I wanted as on paper, and now I've got somebody really cool helping me out with my website. So if he's even here in the house, well, I don't know if he wants to be known or not, so we'll see. We'll let him say hello inside the live chat if you'd like to do that. I do have some new things that I want you to look down at the links down below, and some of those things are, let's see here. If you would like to buy a hoodie or a mug or a shirt and stay warm, since it's so snowy and cold out there now, then you can do that. You can get some Blue Rock Talk merchandise. Also, keep Blue Rock Talk alive. Look at all those links down below. You can do it in crypto. You can also do it at Patreon. And tonight we'll be talking about these little logos right here that you see. BEOS, BEOS, BEOS. I like that. I think I had a whole nother thing to show you too, but I don't know where it is. I've lost it. So there we go. So let's move in to the conversation tonight. Let's pull in Stan Larimer, the Godfather of Bitshares, who has had some, I guess, a good report card today with your rehab, right?
Oh, yes. Howdy, Crypto Connie.
Hey, you're feeling good.
Yep, I got a nice, clean bill of health, and basically was told that I was improving in every category. So I guess that's good.
That's excellent. Oh, my gosh. Well, how do you feel about it? You feel like you're improving like you'd like to?
Oh, yeah. I'm not able to go out and play with my volleyball team yet, but, they're playing without me tonight, so I'm in agony.
What did you call it a minute ago? Can you say that?
I don't remember what I called it.
You don't remember? Oh, okay. So, he loves his volleyball. So I said, at least you could go out there and watch. And he said, no, you said you couldn't watch because it would be...
Oh, yeah, because it would give me a bad case of the volleyball hornies.
That's horrible. I've never heard that before. Stan.
There is nothing worse than watching other people play volleyball. You want to get out there and do it yourself.
This is true. I guess you guys, have you ever done it in the sand?
Oh, yeah. We play it in the sand all summer long, and then in the gym in the spring and fall.
What do you like better?
I actually liked it better in the gym because I can get a little more precision, and it's got refs and so on where we don't have refs out on the sand lot. So we play much more serious when we're playing in the gym.
Oh, okay. Somebody can kick some sand in your face otherwise. Right? I would think. I'm sorry, I read too many Mad magazines along the way. It was always about kicking sand in somebody's face. Remember that magazine?
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
Alfred E. Newman, the best of the best. Okay, so we have BEOS that we need to talk about again, because that is the big issue that's happening, which is... it is the BitShares and EOS together to be BEOS. And that's really about the blockchain, is that correct?
Yes, BEOS is a middle chain that sits between BitShares and EOS and ties the two together. And I guess the big news tonight is that we just published our white paper. So You can see that probably down in your link somewhere.
Yep.
You see it on Steemit/@Stan. It's right there at the top right now. Just put it out there, and it gives a what I would call a supplement to the EOS white paper. So we start right out by pointing to the EOS white paper and saying, hey, we're just a copy of EOS with a few changes to it. And then the rest of the supplemental white paper goes on to talk about what we're doing differently.
So, and white papers in general are what?
Well, they're a description of, in general, the technical content of what it is that a given blockchain is all about, where people can go read in one authoritative place everything about what it is that you're offering.
Is that something you can update at any time?
Oh, yes. Yeah. In fact, I have disclaimers all over the document saying that we can change it at any time without notice.
Okay.
And it is for informational purposes only. You can't rely on it for anything. The actual code, which is open source and available for anyone to inspect, is the authority on what is really there. And the rest is there for a helpful aid in helping people understand what we're doing and what we're thinking. But it's not something that we are going to back as a commitment that could lead to legal difficulties. Because if you wind up putting something in a white paper that turns out not to get done, if you haven't got the right disclaimers on it, then other people could come along and complain. So,
and they're pretty good at doing that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You have to watch it. But
if you're just out, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say a few of the things that are different that we talk about that we're doing different from the main EOS white paper, which documents all the details, and most everything we're going to do is consistent and intended to be identical to EOS so that we can stay compatible with it. Of course, EOS has a big budget. Block One has a big budget to keep growing EOS, and we want to stay compatible with that. So we're not changing much. But there are a few things that we're doing differently. Certainly, one of the reasons why the BEOS chain exists is so we have a place where we can make changes to interface to BitShares and EOS without modifying either of them. Because obviously we don't have any say in what EOS does, and BitShares would require voting of the masses who own BitShares if they were going to make any changes on its side. So our goal is to keep all the changes in that middle chain where we can keep track of and have the flexibility to implement any features that we want in the middle.
So you're not abandoning BitShares and you're not stepping on the feet of EOS. You're just developing something with the best of both of them.
Yes, that's exactly right. Our prime directive is first, do no harm to BitShares. And in fact, we're augmenting BitShares with smart contract capabilities that it doesn't have. So we can bring the high performance characteristics of BitShares into the EOS universe and make the assets that we can make in the BitShares Smart Coin Factory available to anybody on the BEOS chain and eventually over on the EOS chain too. So that would be one of our categories, is token portability. The idea of making tokens blockchain independent. Nice. So that we can move BitShares over onto BEOS and from there over onto EOS. And the same thing for any other coin or token that BitShares manufactures.
I was just talking about you to someone yesterday. They were talking about Bitcoin and that they were going to do something with the coin themselves. And I had told them that, you know, you want to get into the BitShares Dynasty as it continues to grow, and that there's no mining involved whatsoever. It's outlawed. So we're going to continue that, obviously, with BEOS, correct?
Yes, there's no mining of any kind in BEOS. It uses the same DPoS blockchain technology that runs 94% of the world's blockchains now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Why don't people know more about this? I don't understand. It's I don't get it.
Well, I don't know, but you can go to blocktivity.info and you can look on it and you can see that you've got the top 4 categories before you get down to the lowly Bitcoin and Ethereum. You've got 4 DPoS type blockchains occupying the top 4 slots.
Wow. If you're just now joining us, this is Crypto Connie Tuesday. Crypto Connie here along with Stan Larimer, the Godfather of Bitshares and the Bad-daddy of BEOS. It's Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis, Earth's most interesting conversations. So please be, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't already, be a Blue Rocker, someone in the know, and also hit that like button to support the show that we're on right now. If you guys have questions, now's the time to go ahead and get those in. Put them in all caps for us. And want to say hi to those of you that are in our live chat. We always have a really good one. Brown Dwarf and Mike Crow, hey there, and welcome to the show. Okay, so I'm kind of believing that BEOS, tell me if I'm wrong, I remember at one point, not years back, but a while back, I had asked you about peer plays, Jonathan Baihai's peer plays, and I said, you were telling me that it's the BitShares blockchain, but it's got a few changes to it. So BEOS is kind of like the same thing where you've taken the blockchain, just made different changes to it, correct? The graphene blockchain?
Describe it that way, other than you would say that in the case of peer plays, it's derived from BitShares, whereas BEOS is derived from EOS.
Right.
And so it's designed to support BitShares, but it is an EOS chain, and therefore it has the native capability to talk to other EOS chains.
Okay, and what we're talking about, those of you that are new here, is the BitShares Dynasty. This is Stan Larimer, the Godfather of Bitshares. His son is Dan Larimer, who created BitShares, STEEM, and EOS. And Stan, of course, is keeping those all alive, or BitShares and STEEM, really BitShares more than anything, you're keeping alive. However, you're creating a new life of BEOS. But that's how all this family stuff is going on. And when you hear the different names, this is not Dan, this is Stan. And I'm not, what do you call me, Williams or somebody? Like Stan would call me somebody else's name, so if you ever hear me call him Dan, there's a reason behind it. What are you calling me? Connie Williams or something like that. But how does Dan feel about the BEOS?
Well, he's cautious about it because, anytime you introduce a new currency, a new coin, there's always the question of how will it be perceived by regulators and how would that perhaps blow back on EOS. So we've had discussions about that and taken great steps to make sure that we don't bring any negative regulatory interest in what we're doing. And we'll talk a little bit more about how we do that a little bit later on tonight.
Okay. What about, is that going to be like under jurisdictional agility or something? Or I was about to ask you about that.
No, well, jurisdictional agility is one of the other big differences that we will be installing into BEOS, which will allow you to create a smart contract that will only execute in a specific jurisdiction of a specific node that is a block signer. In other words, if you have a particular jurisdiction you want your transaction to occur in, it'll wait till it gets to a node in that jurisdiction to execute. So that we're going to be providing a lot of new jurisdictions that we'll be putting our nodes into, including space. And if we're successful, we'll get it on a cruise ship that when it's in international waters, it will execute a contract, and when it's in part, it won't. And so then we also have jurisdictions like the state of Utah, which has excellent jurisdictional.
They love the crypto.
Yeah, they're favorable attitudes towards crypto, and that's where we have, of course, the Quint gold-backed coins are in existence there.
Yeah, and you're going to interface this through the Quint system. How does that work?
Well, we're going to allow people to, well, let's back up a little bit and talk about how we're going to implement this. We are creating something called the BEOS Limited Cooperative Association, which is a nonprofit organization that has the authority under U.S. law to issue securities, and is able to do so without having to register them. And this gives us the ability to create the BEOS token and release it into the wild. But we also have the ability to use the Quint escrow system, the same thing that manages gold coins for people, such that whenever you send a coin from one person to another, you're actually transferring it under Utah law escrow. So that whole process is something that we'll explain in detail once we get our lawyers finished implementing it, which is the thing that's holding up our release of it right now. But when we're done, you'll have the same capabilities that we have for Quint Gold in running our BEOS token.
So what's up with the attorneys? Are they hitting snags, or do they need another buck in their pocket, or how's that? What's going on with them?
No, they're
doing their taxes at home, or what?
They have to write up a lot of documents and submit them to the state of Utah and get back an approval. And then one of the things that will give us is the money transmission licenses that we have associated with Quint will be available to us on BEOS as well. And so we'll be able to keep everything inside the state of Utah in terms of money transmission. But that requires them to submit paperwork to Utah government and get it back. And that's what we're waiting on right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. Those Utah folk, they're pretty cool, aren't they? I mean, they're just hip on stuff. I never knew until I got to the crypto world really much about them. I think I remember the Osmonds or something. Were they in Utah or no? Am I even wrong?
Yeah, I think they probably were.
Were they? Okay. That's about all I remember. Then we all, went to Moab, and that was so fun seeing the rock art and just such a beautiful state. Oh, my gosh. So really like Utah.
Yeah. Mountains on every side of you. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah. And big, like, rock mountains, right? I mean, we were looking at those like, how were they created? You were looking at them in terms of the flood, right? Noah's flood, and trying to figure that out.
Yep. There's a lot of good examples there of the same type of layered canyons of all types and bent layers of rock. So it's a good place to study that sort of thing.
Beautiful. You cannot just not be in awe. It's so gorgeous. And by the way, if you go to Blue Rock Talk in the little search, you can look up Moab, and you'll see a couple of the videos where we were out there. It was a lot of fun. Did you mention the BEOS Limited Cooperative Association, the 501c6?
Yes, that's the organization that will be issuing the currency and issuing it in such a way that we are compliant to regulations while keeping it easy to do, I guess is the way to say it. One of the other functions that it will run is it'll run the trust that holds the endowment. That is another difference between how we do business and how other blockchains like EOS and BitShares do it. Both BitShares and EOS have a reserve fund that can be used and voted on to spend to maintain or develop or enhance the systems. and to pay legal expenses and anything else that needs to get done. Those are typically voted, and that is in itself wonderful and awful at the same time, I guess I would say. It's wonderful to have a pool that can be voted on by shareholders to get work done. But it's hard to get work done because you can't get people to agree on things, and you can't get people to necessarily keep a project voted in until it's complete. So things get started and then they fall out of favor and don't get finished. And so we've decided to use a limited cooperative association-based trust to hold those coins and to have a series of 5 trustees, which get named in the white paper. So if people want to see who the trustees are, you can look there. And each of them has a 5-year term staggered over time. So one comes off service every year on December 31st. And a new one gets elected to replace him for 5 years. So that, we think, will give a little bit more stability to the spending of money and allow an organization to actually sign contracts to get work done. So that's a little bit different form of governance than other people have. It's sort of a mixture of part decentralized and part centralized around a limited cooperative association.
Wow, I think you're doing fantastic, by the way, Stan. You're just going right at it. Just, you're doing great. I know you're tired, and at the end of the day, you're sounding great, though. Speaking of, so we have the raindrop distribution happening as soon as all the legal paperwork comes in. Do you estimate a month or 2 or weeks away?
Oh, I'm hoping it's just a couple of weeks. We'll have to see how fast the lawyers get things done. But as soon as it comes in, as soon as we have that organization set up, all the other software is ready and ready to go. And
right.
So we'll be able to start doing it. So that, I guess we just should mention a little bit about the raindrop distribution.
Yes, please.
What people do is we have a gateway that sits between BitShares and BEOS that allows you to deposit your BitShares into the gateway and get issued a BitShares token over on the BEOS system. And every BitShares token you have on the BEOS network is eligible for rainfall. So if you have 1% of the total tokens that have been placed over there, you'll get 1% of the rainfall for that day over a period of 7 weeks and 40 days. So that's 89 total days of rainfall, where we will hand out the 2.5 billion BEOS tokens.
Wow, that's a lot. That's
yes,
a lot.
And so, this is designed to allow people to commit to do something that would allow them to receive these tokens. And people who don't want to trust us with their tokens for this period of time, then they don't get any tokens. So,
there you go.
I'm not apologizing for that at all. We do have people who are naysayers that do not like what we do, and they simply won't get tokens. But those who trust us and are willing to support us by putting their BitShares into the gateway, where we can vote to get BitShares cooperation in inserting new interfaces that allow us to do tighter integration than we could otherwise. And so that's another thing that happens, is people who are putting their BitShares into a proxy location where we can vote with them to advance the cause of the BEOS system. And they, in turn, in exchange for that, get rainfall. And so if maybe only half the people put it in there, well, then they'll get twice as many of the BEOS tokens as they would if we just did a share drop on the general BitShares population. And that's why we did it.
Out of the live chat, they're saying, "In Stan, we trust."
Well, yeah, trust but verify.
Always, always. So I'm just, I want to ask about. Well, I want to make sure we get everything in with the raindrop. And I know that it's the trading of BitShares. You got to have BitShares to do it, or brownie points, which I have some now. Thank you. Stan passed me a few over. Like, now I got some brownie points. Yay! So thanks.
Well, you've earned your brownie points for the everything you've been doing for this whole enterprise.
Oh man, I just want it to grow. It's you know, I just love the BitShares Dynasty. It's too cool. Everything about it is cool. Now, is everything pretty much has stemmed from the past from cryptonomics. Will this be under cryptonomics?
No, this is a separate project under TerraDAX, and TerraDAX is something that's received some private funding from a number of individuals, and it's run by Paul Martello, who people may know as Once Upon a Time.
Yay!
And so he is funding Dan Notestein of Block Trades fame to do the development. And Dan's got a team of people located all around the world. He's got them in Canada, Germany, Poland, and right here in Virginia. So he is doing the development work. And then we have Tim Burke, CEO of Sovereign Sky, who is funding the nodes that go in space that will host BEOS. And I've got a list of, in the white paper, a little table showing the various companies that are contributing nodes to support the operating of the system. There's 21 nodes, and one of our new node providers is Jonathan Bahai of the data security node fame.
Oh, okay.
The bunker in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
is the latest addition to that team.
Wow, that's excellent. Another intelligent dude. And you got Larry Hilton out of Quint. Is he working with Space Quest, or is that separate, or he's just doing it with Quint?
No, Larry is our lawyer who is leading the charge on getting all this set up so we're compatible with Quint technology in the state of Utah.
He's on the ball, man. I'm telling you. So what a lineup you have. And we've had Larry Hilton on Blue Rock Talk in the past, as well as we've seen a picture of Paul before in the background, and we've had Dan Notestein on as well. Notestein. He always said, yeah, that you say Notestein.
I got to learn to say Notestein, you know.
I know. I'm always like, I think back of that old Frankenstein movie, right? Frankenstein,
yep.
Frankenstein.
Yep.
What's right?
I don't know where I got the idea that it was Steen, but no, it's Stein.
It's Stein.
You smoked that out for us.
I told on you big time at that point too, out loud. So you have an incredible team. That's an amazing team. I mean, holy cow! And I love the name TerraDAX too. That's cool. Does that mean something?
Well, DAX is our decentralized autonomous company that we started out with back in the early days of 2013 when I published BitShares and the 3 Laws of Robotics, which talked about the decentralized autonomous corporation, which then became adopted throughout the industry, although people sometimes change it to decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs. But we started it back then in 2013, and we honored that concept with Terra, which is a Greek word for earth, and also gives an idea of Terra in the idea of a billion different DACs that we may wind up building.
That's cool. So, I mean, I'm just, you know, here you are keeping Dan's stuff alive as he continues on. And by the way, they're all alive. So but I remember him starting Cryptonomics, right? He started that. Is that still going to be alive along the way, or?
Oh yeah, Cryptonomics is spun off a half a dozen different companies. It's a part owner of Quint, and it has a number of other things that it started, Heronomics, Hypernomics. So it's still a
contender,
a place where we do joint ventures with other companies. Is the way I would describe it.
Excellent, excellent. So I want to make sure we talk about everything. We talked about the endowment.
Yep.
Okay.
And what we're basically saying is that there's going to be a total of 3.5 billion BEOS tokens. 2/7 of those will be given to the trust to manage, and 5/7 of them, which is 2.5 billion, will be given to the people who sign up for the rainfall.
Okay. And it's an 89-day period, and we'll announce it as soon as we can. I'm looking forward to that.
So you could expect sometime in February, we will launch the chain, give people a week to get their tokens moved over, and then start the rainfall for 89 days.
Excellent. Okay, enough time to do all that stuff. Those of you that are in the live chat, if you do have a question for Stan, put it in all caps for me to see. We want to still keep this short so he can get his beauty sleep. So 1 billion tokens will be raindropped to the BCLA Trust.
Yep, and that will be used to fund anything that needs to happen relative to the legal defense of the system or anything having to do with future upgrades.
And RAM will be distributed.
It'll be managed by the trustees who will decide how it gets spent.
Okay. And then the RAM?
Yeah, RAM is another token that is also part of the EOS system, and we'll be handing that out over a period of 80 weeks. So it'll take a lot longer to hand out, but that'll give people more motivation to keep their things locked up where they can get them.
RAMs with EOS or BEOS?
RAM will be in BEOS.
Okay.
BEOS and RAM are two tokens that give you access to system resources. BEOS gives you access to the processing resources, and RAM gives you access to the ability to store your content. For example, if you're going to have an account, you need to have a little bit of RAM, a few bytes to store your account information. And so that's another asset that will be given out at a slower rate.
Okay, all right. Well, as BitShares was and is all about, and what your whole deal is to put businesses on the blockchain, is it going to work out better for you to put businesses and applications on BEOS blockchain?
Well, yes. The businesses would use BitShares to do the trading of their assets and to create their custom assets. And those would then get moved over onto the BEOS system where they could execute in any form of smart contract that you might want to implement. And as Dan has said, EOS is able to execute all of Ethereum in a single smart contract. So we can put literally any type of functionality that you could dream up in terms of business logic. And if you want your business to operate in international space, then you simply write a smart contract for that business logic and put it in space.
I still got to find that clip. So every time you say that, I can do the pigs in space.
See, that'd be great, yeah.
And you and I will both do this number because we know the cue, don't we?
Yep.
We're good that way. Okay. in the live chat. Thanks everybody that's here. Please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's Crypto Connie Tuesday. Crypto Connie here along with Stan Larimer, the Godfather of Bitshares, the Bad-daddy of BEOS. I love that. So one of the questions is from Dan Schaefer. I hope I said that right there, Dan. Sounds like BitShares value would just convert over to BEOS. With BitShares being so low now, it seems like Trazinga lost. No? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure what that last word was.
And then he says, sorry for my typos. He's on his mobile, so BEOS. Sounds like BitShares value would just convert over to BEOS.
No,
it seems like a trading loss.
No, your BitShares will become more valuable because they will become transportable across BEOS and into the EOS universe, where we can get BitShares assets created on BitShares, traded on BitShares, and executed in smart contracts anywhere else in the EOS ecosystem. So I'm expecting it to drive the value of BitShares up by a lot.
Okay, that makes sense when you put it that way. OD175, welcome, a true blue rocker now. Anthony Sanchez, another true blue rocker, and a crypto guy now, as well as a UFO guy, and all sorts of other things guy. An incredible web developer who is also into the crypto world. So he's wanting to learn the BitShares Dynasty. And as I look at these other questions in here, can you explain why you guys had decided to ban and outlaw mining?
Well, mining is something that inherently wastes time and energy, and is not a good thing when you're trying to run at real-time blockchain speeds, which is what you need if you're going to do any type of a decentralized exchange. We wanted to get the speed up, and so we've eliminated mining so that we could run at blazing speeds, I guess is the easiest way to say it.
And it also doesn't, when it is mined, doesn't a lot of people control?
Well, yeah, mining tends to get centralized. That's one of the things we discovered early on, because our very first product, ProtoShares, was mined into existence. We got about 2 or maybe 3 weeks of fair distribution before the big mining rigs came in and sucked up all the rest of the coins, and then turned around and sold them into the marketplace, which it didn't work out very good for people who wanted to mine them themselves. So we see that right now there's about 4 or 5 big companies that do most of the mining. And so we've just concluded that that was a wasteful way of introducing and distributing coins, and went on to other better methods. After people did the mining, we could do share drops onto those coins that people had, and that became a preferred way of distributing coins.
Okay, which Star Wars character is Stan? They said Yoda. Who would you be if you could pick?
No, probably Obi-Wan, I guess.
Obi-Wan, oh, come on. That's like, well, that's the cool one. I mean, that's the wise dude.
Yep, he's closer to a wizard. And I don't know of any other wizards we have.
Who were you when you were in Moab on the Moab video that we got? No,
that was Gandalf the Grey.
Is that?
It was the big wizard that escorted them through the mines of Moria.
Oh, that was Star Wars?
No, the mines of Moria were in Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, okay. All right, I was going to say. I thought that was Lord of the Rings. And what's the other dude? Harry Potter stuff. Okay. all those fun type
Oh
of...
yeah, and Dumbledore would be the wizard in that one.
Right, exactly. Did he just pass away not long ago?
I think we lost him. Yeah.
Ah, jeez. He was great. Okay, so that one question I think you took care of. And Stan, we trust. I'm not sure what J.C. Patrick, what you got going there, McClure, with the TY4YS. I'm not sure what that means. Thank you for YS. I'm not sure.
Your service?
Oh, well, we'll go with it. That sounds pretty good. Okay. If you have questions, now's the best time to do that. So I think we covered everything that we wanted to cover for sure. The white paper that he's talking about is on his Steam It post. Now, I have got the link down below for you, so you can check that out, and we'll make it easy for you. You can also find Stan on all the telegrams. You got what is it called? BitShares for nice people, something like that for Stan, and other BitShare community things. And there's also a BEOS link in there too. So all that should be down below, so you can find him wherever he is, as well as Blue Rock Talk. So Anthony, Ian McKellen is still alive. Was that the one you were talking about? Borgendorf?
Oh, Dumbledore. Okay.
Dumbledore?
Maybe is he still alive? Well, that's really good news then.
Yeah, I thought he'd passed, but yeah, that is good. Keep him going.
The character of Dumbledore died in the last Harry Potter novel, I think.
Oh, that's terrible. I think you're right. Okay, Richard Harris is the one who passed away. All right. A man called Horse. So it was Richard Harris. Okay.
Okay.
That's who we were thinking. So, okay, Stan. Well, I'm keeping it short for you, keeping it so that you can get some rest due to all the stuff you've gone through, especially since the Steelers are no longer in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I'm always going to play with you on that one. Who's in the Super Bowl?
I believe the Rams, unless they get kicked out by the Saints in a court battle that is going on right now.
Oh, right now.
Yep, they're trying to get them. They have to replay the last couple minutes of the game, and if they do replay it, they will probably win because they have it goal to go on the 5-yard line with 2 minutes to go. They could run out the clock and kick a field goal and win. So,
who are you cheering on for?
Well, I hate to see that particular decision happen because of a blown call like that they happen. So I guess I would like to see it replayed, but it'll never happen.
Right. Well, I guess it's in Atlanta this year.
Yes.
Okay, and they're talking about how horrible everything is, weather-wise, and people can't get in. So, I guess it's coming up. What is it? This Sunday?
Yep, it's this Sunday, all right.
Gee, I got to get out of this, from under this rock. One of the questions, do you know, the first Dumbledore actor is gone. This is great. We'll have to just talk about this one night. Do you know about, I was going to ask you, so thank you, Anthony. Do you know about the Bitcoin time traveler? Have you heard about that?
Nope, I haven't heard about that at all.
Okay, yeah, I had just seen it recently myself too, Anthony. It was, it's apparently somebody from, I guess they were from 2025 talking about Bitcoin. I think that's about right. Anthony's answering with that, he's answering there, saying I'm either doing it right or doing it wrong here. Apparently a time traveler talking about Bitcoin and was able to predict and said what some of these things that were going to happen, the exact prices of Bitcoin along the way. And apparently, I think it was this year, it's going to go way up.
If that's the case, it'll take the rest of us up with it. So go Bitcoin.
That's right. I know, right? I know. That's true. So I think I got it kind of close there, Anthony, I hope. Party at Stan's house this Sunday. Okay, we'll all be at Stan's this Sunday. He will supply the food, and we're looking forward to it, even if you nap. So any last words there, Stan, before you go?
Nope, just go check out our white paper now. We're going to have a website up in the next few days, that will talk all about this, and we're getting all our act together, ready to release BEOS in the coming month.
And there is the logo that he had sent me at one point. I think it's cool. I'm liking best. I think I still saw one other one that you showed one at one point. So I don't know if have you picked the actual logo yet?
Well, there's a couple of them in the white paper that we're using interchangeably. So
okay, all right. Well, it's so cool. Everything about it is awesome. So thank you very much. All right, Stan the man. Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right, we will see you Sunday, Stan's Bible Lecture, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you know what you're going to talk about yet?
Nope. I'm waiting for the Lord's inspiration, which usually comes in Saturday night.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. And at one point, I think we can have any debates if you're up for that. When you get up for that, we'll do some of those.
Okay.
All righty.
Yeah, happy to. Sounds good.
All
Take care.
You take care too. That's Stan the man Larimer, the Godfather of BitShares and the Bad-daddy of BEOS. Thanks those of you that are in the live chat. Please hit that like button while you're here. Subscribe if you have not already. Become a true blue rocker. Don't forget Far Out Thursdays, aliens, all sorts of crazy stuff. Bigfoot Fridays, it's all self-explanatory. Swellness Wednesdays are cool. Essential Health is on with Margot Toms, and she's talking about alternative health, where it's like the hormone replacement, which, by the way, I've been doing. I feel great. I don't know why. No one tells us about this. If you're feeling down and out, men and women, you can feel great with these, by the way. Your energy goes up, everything goes up. You know that ad where that guy, the older guy on all the YouTube commercials and everything like that, where he lifts up, he's an older guy and he lifts up his shirt and shows his abs. Yep, that's what he's doing, that kind of thing. So, and of course, Crypto Connie Tuesday. So I want to thank everybody that did show up here, and more about BEOS along the way as it happens. I'm looking forward to this launch. I cannot wait for the launch. Do not forget to go ahead and check out some hoodies that say, I'm a blue rocker, I'm a Bible blue rocker, I am a true blue rocker. No, I don't have that one yet, but also Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis on there. And if you would like to donate to keep Blue Rock Talk alive, that's where you can do it, in crypto or on Patreon, whatever you'd like to do. I appreciate that you would do that. Thank you so much. Thank you kindly. So from from me to you, have a safe and happy rest of the day, and we will be talking to you soon, because you never know what's going to happen here on Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. And a really cool website coming up soon, by the way, everybody, coming up.